It has been nearly 3 years since we saw a blood moon, and tonight you have a chance to see the lunar eclipse. Let's get over to meteorologist Andrew Brightman as we are making sure we have some clear skies tonight once that sun goes down, because this is going to be fun to watch.
It is, and I've been working very hard, Brian, to make sure we've got clear skies here across the Carolinas. I'll talk more about what it's going to look like outside across the sky here coming up in a moment. We'll talk a little bit about the lunar eclipse. What is it? Why does the moon look red when we get to that full lunar eclipse? So a lot to get into here. First off, starting off, what is a lunar eclipse? Basically, we've got the Earth moving in front of the moon, in between the sun and the moon. You've got two types of shadow: the hard shadow, also known as the umbra, and then you got the soft shadow, which is known as the penumbra. To get the total lunar eclipse, you got to be where that hard shadow is, and that's exactly what we're going to get here. There's different types of lunar eclipses. The total one, like we're going to see tonight, the hard shadow covers the entire surface of the moon, sometimes what's called a blood moon. Partial is that most of the moon gets covered by the hard shadow, but not all of it. It still appears red, but not full. And then sometimes we have what's called a penumbral, where the hard shadow never really gets onto the surface of the moon, and it's harder to see for observers here on the Earth. So the overall timeline is going to be moving from basically right to left from your point of view here on the Earth. But it starts at 12:55. We'll get into the total eclipse beginning at about 12:26 in the morning here. So it's going to be a bit of a late night for all my celestial observers out there, and that's where we'll see mid-eclipse just before 3 a.m. The total eclipse is going to end right as you're getting ready to wake up for Queen City News Now tomorrow morning about 3:30 or so. We still have partial eclipse just after. We'll see the show start at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then the eclipse completely ends at about 5:05. So the million-dollar question: what's it going to look like when we get to those timelines here? Well, overall, we're going to see those clear skies for the most part here across the Carolinas, and that's going to be important because we'll have good viewing conditions for it. And lastly, the moon looks red when we see that total lunar eclipse, because basically the only light that is reaching the moon's surface is being impacted by Earth's atmosphere. It refracts and creates that blood-looking color, as that's the only light that is reaching the moon's surface. So a little cool little phenomenon there, and Tara definitely looking forward to doing some viewing, as we should have some pretty decent conditions, albeit pretty early on your Friday morning.
So are you going to stay up for it, Andrew?
Maybe. I'm gonna work on it, Tara.
Maybe. I think I will.